Welcome to today's episode of Wellness Wednesdays. I am Dr. Katherine Y. Brown, your host. Today, I am excited to have in our studio Demetria Corlew. Welcome, Demetria.
Welcome. It's so good to be with you this morning.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited. Today is Monday, February 27th, and we're recording a little bit in advance, but just so excited. Now, for our viewers around the world, tell us a little bit about your background, what you do, and where you're located.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm Demetria Corlew. I wear a minty of hats. I'm a wife, a mom, a minister, but I'm also a licensed professional counselor with a mental health service provider designation. And I am located in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm sure my Southern drawl at times kind of comes out, even though I'm from the North. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, but the Southern comes out because I've lived in Tennessee for quite some time. And so that's a little bit about my educational background. And I have three kiddos. Like I said, I'm married. I have two fur babies, Hannah Grace and Cookie, that I love to love on. And so in the midst of all of that and therapy and community service and all that good stuff, I get to do exciting things like this, like spend time with you, Dr. Brown, and be able to kind of continue shedding light on these issues and topics that you are discussing on your podcast.
I love it. So tell me about your community service things that you're doing in the community, because you lit up when you said community service. So you have to tell us about some of the organizations that you're serving with.
Absolutely. So I am a proud member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, where I serve currently as the chapter president for the Pi Zeta chapter in Nashville, Tennessee. And we are doing all kinds of community service. We have our Stork's Nest, which we help with prenatal education for expecting moms, and we're gearing up for some events with that. We've also do lots of things with St. Jude, with our local agencies as well, Matthew Walker, which is a health center in Nashville, also Meharry Medical College, Fisk University, Tennessee State University. We are always gearing up and partnering with our local partners to be able to provide an impact to the metropolitan Davidson County and surrounding counties as well.
I love it. Do you find that you serve, I would say maybe differently since the pandemic? I know people have integrated virtual service, but what does service look like now in comparison to what it looked like before, if there's even a difference?
Yes, absolutely. So when the pandemic hit, it's almost as though the city shut down, our state shut down. And so everything went virtual. So we had to think outside of the box to be able to have virtual ways in which we could serve. And with our Stork's Nest, for example, normally we would meet with those expected moms in person and be able to have little goodies to be able to give to them. And so we had to shift our programming, and to do that virtually, we hopped on Zoom and got our expected moms on Zoom and did that program virtually. We switched our goodies to gift cards so that they could still have access to the things in which they need for their little ones that they're bringing into the world. So we made sure that we didn't skip a beat. We had to get creative, but we didn't skip a beat.
I love it, because to me, it speaks to resilience and the way in which you saw the community organizations. They listened to the needs of the consumers or their stakeholders, right? Mm-hmm. And found a way to pivot. So I'm super excited about that. So now I'm going to jump to you personally. How have you maintained your health and also your work-life balance during this time? Because it has been so different for so many different leaders, but especially for you as the leader in your chapter.
Yes, that is such a wonderful question. So I would say during when we were really in the thick of COVID, I really had to be very intentional and buckle down on my intentionality and discipline. Because with that work-life balance, being a therapist, we're seeing all these different things that started to bubble up with COVID, because as humans, we're created for connection and community, and a lot of that kind of went away. And so helping people to work through that, helping my sorority sisters to be able to work through that as well, because it just bubbled up a lot of different emotions. And so I had to be very intentional about my time. I had to be very intentional about my self-care and making sure that even as I pour out, that I'm refilling myself and helping other people to come up with ways that refill them as well, because we're spending time at home or other places and not being around other people that we were accustomed to doing. We had to be resilient, creative in that, in the way in which that we took care of ourselves. And so intentionality was how I did that.
All right. So, I'm going to go deeper because I love you said intentionality, but you said filling your cup. And for our viewers, it is so important for you to give me some examples. What are some specific ways that you filled your cup? I don't know if it was walking, drinking tea, meditating. Tell me about how Demetria filled her cup.
Oh my goodness. So Demetria read, lots of journaling. I like to color. So coloring as well. Definitely getting active. I took up running and then I realized I did not like that. So, so I kind of switched to indoor spinning to keep my body moving. Also, I increased my spirituality during that time and really dug deep into that. And I had to just really take an internal inventory to see what actually filled my cup, because some things that used to fill my cup maybe didn't fill it as much as I needed to. So I needed to shift, and I learned new ways to fill my cup. And I'm always constantly taking that inventory, because even as seasons change, we grow, evolve, and become as people. And so we change in the way in which we fill our own cups. And so I learned new ways, but I also reinforced some things that I already were doing.
I love it. So what is next for you? I just want to know all about just projects, or from the business lens or the community lens. Tell us what is next. And then I want you to tell us how people can stay connected with you and the work that you're doing, because you're doing a lot.
Yes, absolutely. So what's next is I'm actually in the midst of building a podcast myself. Yes, and so I'm building that. I'm super excited about it. So definitely podcast is coming forth. I also am in private practice, so I still do that, which is gracefully lead counseling and consulting. Excuse me. So I'll continue to do that as well. So those are my two biggies, my two babies right now, my therapy practice and podcast, so that we can impact change amongst the masses, because mental health is something that's always been there, but even now more than ever, we're ringing the alarm on it, because we want people to be healthy and whole, holistically, as a whole person. And so, and it's my goal that everybody is free mentally, because there's so many things that we hold on to. But to keep in contact with me, definitely follow me on Facebook, Gracefully Lead Counseling and Consulting. I drop jewels and gems and rubies and sapphires on there. And I have it connected to my page as well. So definitely get a double dose of some encouragement along the way.
Okay, say the name one more time so they got it.
Yes, Gracefully Lead Counseling and Consulting.
So Gracefully Lead Counseling. Okay, got it. I love it. I'm excited about it. So you said ring the alarm, and I'm laughing because I just did a keynote yesterday, and I did it on sound the alarm. It was about sound the alarm for heart health. So we're kindred spirits already, just because of that. So I absolutely love it. Well, I will say, once you're on Wellness Wednesdays with me, you're always welcome back. Once you launch that podcast, send it over so we can share that and let people know about what you are doing. Continue to do great work in the community. We are thankful for your leadership and all that you do. I'm going to end with one question, and it's pretty easy one. Is there anything at all that you would like to share with our viewers that I have not asked you? Anything at all? No shameless plugs, whatever you want to share.
I think my parting word would be to constantly evaluate and take inventory of your mindset, because nothing changes until you make a decision. And so whatever it is that you need to make a decision on, go ahead and do that, because your mindset is going to follow suit with that. and align with whatever it is that you're trying to do. And you may notice that in the midst of that, there are some things that you need to uproot. So do the work. Don't be afraid to do the work in uprooting mindsets that are no longer serving you.
Oh, I love it. Hashtag do the work. Hashtag don't be afraid to do the work, and be mindful of your mindset. Oh my.
Yes, mind your mind.
Oh, hashtag mind your mind. I love everything about that. Demetria, thank you so much for being here with me today. And for our viewers around the world, like this message, share this message with someone who needs to meet Demetria Corlew and the work that she's doing from a professional standpoint, but also as a community aspect through her sorority, which is Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. So please, please like this message, share this message, and tune in to the next episode of Wellness Wednesdays, where you'll be meeting more amazing leaders like Demetria. Until next time, I am Dr. Katherine Y. Brown, your host. Stay well, stay healthy, and have a wonderful day, friends. Thank you.
Thank